Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel Home Library Book Review. Hope you guys are doing great, and today we are here to review another book, Atomic Habits by James Clear. This book is a guide for you to change all the bad habits and introduce new ones. It has sold over 1 million copies. Before we start, don't forget to hit the subscribe button with the bell notification so that you're the first one to get our videos. And if you like the video, don't forget to give the thumbs up. So let's get started right away.
Welcome to Home Library Book Review, where we select a book right from the shelf and explain its learning through easy to understand text, graphics, examples, and animation, along with discussion with family members. You can now order your book review video on www.home-library.com.
Hey everyone! Today we are going to be reviewing Atomic Habits by James Clear.
It has sold over 1 million copies worldwide. It comes with the understanding that small changes will have a transformative effect on your career, your relationship, and your life. This book is a guide you need to break bad routines and make good ones. To be able to cover maximum learnings from this book, we have divided this review into 4 parts, and this is part 2 of 4. Also, this book has Goodreads rating of 4 out of 5. James Clear is a personal development keynote speaker and New York Times best-selling author of Atomic Habits. His entertaining talks teach audiences about small habits, decision-making, and continuous improvement. He's a regular speaker at Fortune 500 companies, and his work has been used by teams in the NFL, NBA, and MLB. Through his online course, The Habits Academy, Clear has taught more than 10,000 leaders, managers, coaches, and teachers how to improve. But before we begin, Arnav, can you tell me what are habits?
Dad, I think habit is a practice.
It can also be customs that we are used to by doing them over and over again. It could also be pattern that we form by doing repetitive tasks. It could also be routine that we are familiar with and want to do it over and over again. Or it could also be a manner in which we practice our thoughts. You know, there is a saying, if you take control of your habits, you take control of your life. I can't wait to review this book. How about you, Arnav?
Dad, let's begin.
Number 1. Motivation is overrated. Environment often matters more. People often choose products not because of what they are, but because of where they are. If you walk into the kitchen and see a plate of cookies on the counter, you will pick up half a dozen and start eating, even if you hadn't been thinking about them beforehand and didn't necessarily feel hungry. If the communal table at the office is always filled with donuts and bagels, it's going to be hard not to grab one every now and then. Your habits change depending on the room you are in and the cues in front of you. Environment is the invisible hand that shapes human behavior. Despite our unique personalities, certain behaviors tend to arise again and again under certain environmental conditions. In church, people tend to talk in whispers. On a dark street, people act wary and guarded. In this way, the most common form of change is not internal but external. We are changed by the world around us. Every habit is context dependent. The more obviously available a product or service is, the more likely you are to try it. People drink beer because it is in every bar and visit Starbucks because it is on every counter. We like to think that we are in control. If we choose water over soda, we assume it is because we wanted to do so. But the truth, however, is that many of us take actions each day that are shaped not by perpetual drive and choice, but by the most obvious options. Every habit is initiated by a cue, and we are more likely to notice cues that stand out. Unfortunately, the environments we live in and work often make it easy not to do certain actions because there is no obvious cue to trigger the behavior. It's easy not to practice guitar when it's tucked away in the closet. It's easy not to read a book when the bookshelves is in the corner of the guest room. It's easy not to take your vitamins when they are out of sight in the pantry. But if you want to make a habit a big part of your life, make the cue a big part of your environment. Make sure the best choice is the most obvious one. Making a better decision is easy and natural when the cues for good habits are right in front of you. Environment design is powerful not only because it influences how we engage with the world, but also because we rarely do it. Most people live in a world others have created for them. But if you can alter the spaces where you live and work to increase your exposure to positive cues and reduce your exposure to negative ones, then this environment design allows you to take back control and become the architect of your own life. Number 2, the secret to self-control. When scientists analyze people who appear to have tremendous self-control, it turns out those individuals aren't all that different from those who are struggling. Instead, disciplined people are better at structuring their lives in a way that does not require heroic willpower and self-control. In other words, they spend less time in tempting situations. The people with the best self-control are typically the ones who need to use it the least. It's easier to practice self-restraint when you don't have to use it very often. So yes, perseverance, grit, and willpower are essential to success, but the way to improve these qualities is not by wishing you were a more disciplined person, but by creating a more disciplined environment.
The counterintuitive idea makes even more sense once you understand what happens when a habit is formed in the brain. A habit that has been encoded in the mind is ready to be used whenever the relevant situation arises. You see, once a habit has been encoded, the urge to act follows whenever the environmental cues reappear. This is the only reason where behavior change techniques can backfire. You can break a habit, but you're unlikely to forget it. Once the mental grooves of habit have been carved into your brain, there are nearly impossible ways to remove them entirely, even if they go unused for quite a while. And that means simply resisting temptation is an ineffective strategy. It is hard to maintain a Zen attitude in a life filled with interruptions. It takes too much energy. In the short run, you can choose to overpower temptation. In the long run, you become a product of the environment that you live in. To put it bluntly, you would have never seen someone consistently sticking to positive habits in a negative environment. A more reliable approach is to cut bad habits off at the source. One of the most practical ways to eliminate a bad habit is to reduce exposure to the cue that causes it. For example, if you can't seem to get any work done, leave your phone in an other room for few hours. If you are continually feeling like you are not enough, stop following social media accounts that trigger jealousy and envy. And in this way, you can practice self-control and make some good habits. Number 3, how to make a habit irresistible. Humans are prone to fall for exaggerated versions of reality. Junk food, for example, drives our reward systems into a frenzy. After spending hundreds of thousands of years hunting and foraging for food in the wild, the human brain has evolved to place a high value on salt, sugar, and fat. Such foods are often calorie dense and they were quite rare when our ancient ancestors were roaming the savannah. When you don't know where your next meal is coming from, eating as much as possible is an excellent strategy for survival. Today, however, we live in a calorie-rich environment. Food is abundant, but our brain continues to crave it like it is scarce. Placing a high value on salt, sugar, and fat is no longer advantageous to our health, but the craving persists because the brain reward center have not changed for approximately 50,000 years. Just have a look around. You will find that society is filled with highly engineered versions of reality that are more attractive than the world our ancestors evolved in. Social media delivers more likes and praise in a few minutes than we could ever get in the office or at home. Advertisements are created with a combination of ideal lighting, professional makeup, and Photoshop edits, even the model doesn't looks like the person in the final image. They exaggerate features that are naturally attractive to us, and our instincts go wild as a result, driving us into excessive shopping habits, social media habits, eating habits, and many others. If history serves as a guide, the opportunities of the futures will be more attractive than those of today. So, if you want to increase the odds that a behavior will occur, then you need to make it attractive. While it is not possible to transform every habit into a supernormal stimulus, we can make any habit more enticing. And to do this, we must start by understanding what a craving is and how it works. The more attractive an opportunity is, the more likely it is to become habit forming. Habits are a dopamine driven feedback loop. When dopamine rises, so does our motivation to act. In this way, we can make habit irresistible that can give us positive outcomes.
Number 4. The role of family and friends in shaping your habits. As humans, we want to fit in, to bond with others, and to turn the respect and approval of our peers. Such inclinations are essential to our survival. We don't choose our earliest habits, we imitate them. We follow the script handed down by our friends and family, our church or school, or local community and society at large. Each of these cultures and groups comes with its own set of expectations and standards. When and whether to get married, how many children to have, which holidays to celebrate, how much money to spend on your child's birthday party. In many ways, these social norms are the invisible rules that guide your behavior each day. Actually, you're always keeping them in mind, even if they are at the not top of your mind. And often you follow the habits of your culture without thinking, without questioning, and sometimes without remembering. Most of the time, going along with the group does not feel like a burden. Everyone wants to belong. Proximity has a powerful effect on our behavior. We pick up habits from the people around us. We copy the way our parents handle arguments, the way our peers work with one another, the way our co-workers get results. In a nutshell, the closer we are to someone, the more likely we are to imitate some of their habits. For example, if you surround yourself with fit people, you're more likely to consider working out to be a common habit. If you surround yourself with jazz lovers, you're more likely to believe it's reasonable to play jazz every day. This is the reason we care so much about the habits of highly effective people. We try to copy the behavior of successful people
because we desire success ourselves. And thus, many of our daily habits are imitations of people we admire. Number 5. How to find and fix the causes of your bad habits. Every behavior has a surface level craving and a deeper underlying motive. We often have a craving that goes something like this. We want to eat tacos. But if we were to ask ourselves why we want to eat tacos, the reply would come something like this, that you need food to survive. But the truth is, somewhere deep down, you're motivated to eat tacos because you have to eat to survive. The underlying motive is to obtain food and water, even if specific craving is for tacos. A craving is just a specific manifestation of a deeper underlying motive. Your brain did not evolve with a desire to eat tacos or check Instagram or to play video games. At a deep level, you simply want to reduce uncertainty and relieve anxiety, to win social acceptance and approval, or to achieve status. The cause of your habits is actually the prediction that precedes them. The prediction leads to a feeling. Highlight the benefits of avoiding a bad habit to make it seem unattractive. Habits are attractive when we associate them with positive feelings and unattractive when we associate them with negative feelings. So create a motivation ritual by doing something you enjoy immediately before a difficult habit. Let's summarize what we have learned so far. Number 1, motivation is overrated. Environment often matters more. Number 2, the secret to self control. Number 3, how to make a habit irresistible. Number 4, the role of family and friends in shaping your habits. And number 5, how to find and fix the causes of your bad habits.